Sup guys, Licious Kid here, back with another deck profile. This time I will be featuring my LoveLive SuperStar 4-choice for Gate build with the level 1 Chisato and the level 4 Sumide. This deck is red, yellow, blue, and I think this build is really solid. Has a lot of good tools, can search out a lot of things, and is quite flexible, and has a pretty good game ending as well. So overall, really enjoying this build, and I hope you guys will too. So first of all, we got these 0-0 Sumides here. 0-0 500 power. 2 effects. On play, you can discard a card to salvage a card equal to or lower to the level of how many of these level 3 Sumides you have in the waiting room. Of course, we're going to run 4 of these. So if you have 3, you can discard a card, salvage a 3 or lower. So overall, really good card. Second effect, she's a stock suicider for level 0s. Just a great card to have, honestly. Really rounds out the whole choice build and gives it a lot of good utility. Next up, we got 2 of these 0-0 Cuckoos. They're 1500 power. 2 effects. First effect, she's a level 1 assist. She's an assist. 500 front assist in front of her for level 1 or higher during your turn only. Second effect, you can pay 1, rest her, mill top 4 for every climax you hit, search. It's an okay brainstorm, used in a lot of different builds, just specifically because they need this card, but in this build, she's just purely here for a search brainstorm and that tiny little assist. Next, we run one of these 0-0 Sumides. She's also a brainstorm, 1k power. 2 effects. First effect, you can pay 2, rest her to choose an opponent's character, return it to the hand. Second effect, you can pay 1, rest her, mill top 4, search. Mainly just here for the optional pay 2 bounce, which is really good in some matchups. Because, like I said, this 500 power just for level 1s during your turn is not that big of a deal. So I like to add one of these as well because it is really useful sometimes. So just one of that. And then we run... Oh, here it is. One of these 0-0s. Still can't remember their names. 0-0, 1k power. 2 effects. First effect, when your opponent plays a climax, you can send her on the field to your stock. Second effect, you can pay 1, mill top 4 for every climax you hit. You can look at top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 card, add it to your hand. If you do, you must discard a card. And this is a spammable brainstorm. So this card is honestly super good in every LoveLive SuperStar build. I mean, it's a great spammable brainstorm. Every climax you hit, you go through your deck that much faster, and you grab anything, events, climaxes. Really good card, and she can go to her stock. So if you just use 1 of her and your opponent plays a climax, she pretty much pays for herself. So super dope card. You can consider running 2 of these. Next up, 2 of the 0-0 Kanons from the TD, 0-0 1k. 2 effects. On attack, you can give one of your characters plus 1k, including herself. Second effect, when she gets sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay cost, which is discard a card. If you do, check top 4, choose a level 1 or higher card, add it to your hand. I mean, pretty standard effect, but really solid. There's a good amount of level 1 or higher cards in this deck that you can grab, so you shouldn't really be whiffing on this card, and the extra 1k comes in clutch. Next up, 2 of these Chisatos 0-0-15, also from the trial deck. 2 effects. When you play a music character, you can check the top card of your library. You can't move it, but it's just nice to know. Second effect, you can put her from stand to rest. If you do, choose 1 music character, gets plus 1500 power till the end of the turn. Just really here for the power boost. And the top check is pretty nice with a couple cards in our level 1 lineup that we'll go over in just a bit. So top check, little small power boost. Little goes a long way, so it helps a lot. Actually, it's not really a small power boost. 1500 is actually pretty respectable, so mainly just here for the power boost because our cards don't get that strong on their own. Next up, 4 of these Kanons, 0-0 500 power. 2 effects. She is a stock suicider as well, so we run 7 of them. Second effect, when she gets sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay cost, so just pay 1, clock yourself. If you do, you reveal the top 2 cards of your deck and add any music characters amongst them to your hand. So really solid. Stock Suicider is great. And the second effect to pay 1, clock yourself to potentially get 2 characters. I mean, really, really good. And she also has synergy with another card that we'll go over later in the build, a level 1 card. So that also adds more importance to this card. So just a really solid card that can help you increase your hand size. Next up, 4 of these Hazukis, 0015. 3 effects. On play, she gets plus 1500 power. Second effect, when she reverses an opponent's character by battle, you can choose one of your characters in your front row, put it to an empty slot in the back row as rest, so clean cut. And last effect, when she gets reversed in battle, if you have no blue cards in memory, you can send her to memory. So in this build, it's pretty much just once per game. When she gets reversed, you can send her to memory, which is still really solid. I mean, she's just a great 0, 3k power is respectable, and she has the clean cut effect, which is always really good. And she helps our blue count, which is probably the most important part about this card. So it's like the best blue level 0 that SuperStar has. So if you want to run blue, you kind of have to run this, honestly. And the last level 0, we got this Cuckoo 001500, another great blue card. 2 effects. So the first effect is like the Rudiest promo when she's played from hand to stage. If your opponent has 1 or less characters in the front row, you can choose one cost 0 character and put it to the bottom deck. Second effect is a Climax swap. Pay 1, discard a Climax. If you do, salvage Climax. So, I mean, the first effect you're not really banking on because you don't really have a way to search it consistently. And she's just mainly here for the Climax swap. If you draw her turn 1, that's great. And that's it for zeros. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 18, 20. Wow, that's a lot of zeros. I didn't even know I was running that much. On to level 1s. We got 4 of these Chichons. Very good card. 2 effects. First effect, if you have 2 more music characters, she gets plus 1k. Second effect, she ClimaxCombo with this gate. When you have the gate and when she attacks, you get 2 trigger checks. But the second trigger check, instead of going to stock, goes to waiting room. So you only get 1 stock, sadly. And after she attacks, you can reveal up to 3 cards off your top of your deck and choose a music characters amongst them and add it to your hand. So honestly, just like really good card. The fact she gets 2 trigger checks is nice. It can help push for more damage. But also after her attack is over, you can check the top 3 to get any character is also super dope. She really mills you through your deck really fast. It's pretty much with just her alone, it's 5 cards. So if you play 3 of these at level 1, it's 15. You can really make your refresh kind of instantly with 3 of these Chichons. So just a really good combo. She's solid power at 5/5. She doesn't have to reverse anything. So, I mean, this card is just super good. Yeah, so we run 4 of these. It's a big incentive to run the gate over the 8 choice. Next up, we got 3 of these Cuckoos. 1035. She has 2 effects on play. You reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a music character, choose one of your characters. It gets plus 2k for the turn. And second effect, when she attacks, she gives all your characters the following effect of when they trigger a climax, you can pay 1. If you do, get a blind stock and choose one of your music characters and gets plus 2k power for the turn. This card has really great synergy with the Chisato 1-0 because you're going to get twin triggers or 2 trigger checks. So you have a higher chance of triggering climaxes and you can pay them out instantly with her. But I'll go over that more when I explain how to play the deck level by level. But honestly, just a really good level 1 blue card in LoveLive SuperStar. I mean, the on-play power is already respectable enough, but the fact that she can give even more and give you clean stock is just super dope. So I'm really enjoying this Cuckoo. So just 3 of those. Possibly thinking about running the 4 of them. Anyways, next up we got 2 of these 1/1 Kanons. She's a level assist in front, and she has a second effect where she turns all your 0/0 double R Kanons we talked about earlier into pay 1, 2, 5 backups. So pretty cool card. I mean, her being a level assist is already kind of decent, but the fact that she can turn all of these cards into 2/5 backups is really nice. And they're really easy to get with the 0/0 Sumide. So you kind of always have a backup in hand when needed, which is always kind of nice. So just 2 of those. Next up, 1/1 Chisato, 4k power, 2 effects. First effect, when she gets, she's pretty much an Adachi. So when she battles an opponent's character, if the character is higher than their own level, you can put that card in reverse. But her other effect is when she does reverse an opponent's character, you can pay 1 to choose one of your opponent's character and bounce it back to their hand. So overall, just a really solid card for LoveLive Superstars. If you're running red, which you most likely will be, you might as well just run one of these. I mean, it's just a great card. The fact that she's just an Adachi alone is dope, but she has that extra pay 1 to bounce something is also quite nice. So it's just a really solid card. And that's it for level 1s, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next up, level 2 lineup, pretty small. 2 of these Chisatos also really good. 217k, 2 effects. When she's battling or when she attacks, if the character in front of her is level 3 or higher, she gets plus 6k, so she'll be 13k base. Second effect, when she does reverse an opponent's character by battle, if that character is level 2 or higher, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a music character, you can salvage a music character in your waiting room, add it to your hand. So just really solid. The fact that she's a 13k when she fights a level 2 is super dope. And when she does kill anything 2 or higher, revealing top to salvage a character, revealing top if it's a music and you salvage a character for no cost is super nice. So this card's super good. It also works during your opponent's turn. Keep that in mind. So if you do back it up and it kills a 2 or higher, you can reveal top and salvage a music character. So just really good. If you're running red, another good recommendation to run 1 or 2 of these. Next up, 2-1 Sumide backup, 2-5 power. It's a standard pay 1 backup for 2-5 power. However, it has the other effect. When you use this backup, you can pay the additional cost of paying 1, discarding a card, and sending one of your characters on stage to waiting room. If you do, choose one of your opponent's character higher than their own level, send it to stock. If you do, bottom stock goes out. So, it's a pretty standard defensive backup against characters that are higher level than themselves. If your set has it, you might as well run 1 or 2 of them. This set technically, or this build technically already has 4 extra backups, technically. So just 1 of these, mainly here just for the defensive option. So really good. And that's it for level 2, just 3. On to level 3, we got, of course, the boss monster, the star of this build. We got 4 of the 3-2 Sumides. Great card, 2 effects. First effect, on play, she heals. Second effect, combos with this choice here. The triple R, the normal R, or rare art. When you play the climax, you can choose one of your music characters, and it gains the following effect until the end of the turn. You can choose either when the damage of this attack is cancelled, they take 2 damage, so on cancel, burn 2. Second effect, you can give one of your characters the effect of when they reverse an opponent's character by battle, you can pay 1, discard 2. If you do, that character goes to restand. Just super dope card. She heals, and either option you choose with the climax combo is crazy good. There's always a good situation for this card, and it gets that much better if you start stacking it on top of each other. So and it's like no cost, and the reverse pay 1, ditch 2. It only costs 1, so the card that you attack with is gonna pay for itself. So this card's always good, super nice, really scary game ender for almost no cost, honestly. So 4 of these. Next up, 3 of these Chisatos, 329k, 2 soul, 3 effects. If you have 2 or less climax, she gets -1 level. Second effect, if you have 2 or more music characters, she gets plus 1500 power and hand encore. Is it 2 more music characters? No, I think if you just have a music character, that's crazy. Anyways, if you have a music character, she gets plus 1500 power and hand encore, which is very nice. And her last effect is she heals on play, duh. So 10-5, hand encore, early drop, heals on play. What's not to love? 3 of these. Pretty self-explanatory. Next up, 3-2, 9-5, Kanon. This card is quite interesting. When she's played, she loses 1 level in your hand if you have 4 or more other music characters on your stage, so she can't come out level 2. And when she is played from hand to stage, she gets plus 2500 power, and she gets bodyguard until the end of your opponent's turn. So another cool option, early play option SuperStar has. It's 12k base on play, and she has bodyguard. And if you keep it protected with the level assist and the backup, this can be pretty hard to run over for some builds. So I think it's also another good tech card to consider if you're playing Superstars and you're playing red, because sometimes this can't just kind of shut down your opponent's play. They just have to ram everything into her, and it's a great way to set you up to level 3. Just 1 of these. So lastly, we got this amazing card. I'm sure at the time of this recording, everyone knows what this card does by now. 3/2 10k Sumide. She's quite interesting. Her effect is a little confusing, but pretty much what she does is when she's played from hand to stage, you can perform one of the following 2 effects. However, if you're level 3 and have 6 clock, you can't perform any of the following effects, 2 effects twice. So you can choose one of each of her 2 effects or choose 2 of the same effects twice. And what these effects are is you can pretty much on play, you can meet you to burn 3. So you mill the opponent's bottom 3 deck, and for every climax you hit, they take that much damage. Or you can do like a decompression effect where you choose one card in your opponent's waiting room. And so you choose a climax, and then they shuffle the rest of their waiting room back into their deck, which does come in handy sometimes. But most of the time, you are going to be using it for the Michiru burn effect. And if you're 3/6, you're most likely going to use the Michiru burn effect twice. But just don't forget about that decompression effect, because it actually does come in pretty handy. So just one of her. And that's it for level 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. And on to the Climax lineup. I'm sure pretty self-explanatory. Climax lineups aren't that crazy anymore. 4 choice, 4 gate. Alrighty, so I guess on to how I play the deck level by level. Little short summary. So, I mean, of course, use your stock Suiciders to handle anything. Your strongest power-wise is the 0/0 Hazuki. If you can get it off, if you can get her effect off, of course, do it. It's essentially a free +1. And she will send herself to memory pretty much once per game, which is very nice. Just that free extra little compress. Chisato gives that extra little juice. Of course, ideally, your back row will look something like this. So try to just get this set up whenever you can. Honestly, this Sumide just gives like so much good utility throughout the game, because it's a great way to just kind of grab not whatever you want, but a lot of your deck at any time when she comes into play. Just discard a card and then salvage whatever you need accordingly to the situation. Most of the time, you will be grabbing some sort of level 0 like these 2, or the Brainstorms, or the back row like this, or the 1/0 Chichant that we'll get over. So level 0, I mean, nothing really spicy. Just try to hang tight. Plus with the Hazuki. Next up, level 1, of course. That's when the Chisato Climax combo does come online. And this Climax combo is super dope all throughout the game. Whenever you can do it, just do it. And if you ever can do more multiples of it, even better. These Chisatos are quite easy to grab just because the Sumide just makes it all that much more consistent. So just super, super good. So usually something like this. The Kanan, the Cuckoo, the 1/0 Cuckoo, she really can help out power-wise if you're fighting up against like a standby deck and they kind of got their board set up. You can try to run over them with like kind of like this setup pretty much, because I think So I think the synergy between these 3 cards are quite powerful, because you could check your top, and of course you can usually get, if it's a music character, just slap down the Cuckoo and you give something 2k on play. So you can give it to one of these Chichans, for example. So she's already 5/5 base, 7/5, 8k, tap, 9k, 9/5, combo, 10/5. So, I mean, you're most likely going to be killing something at level 1 with just these 2 and that alone. And all these pieces are really easy to grab with the level 0 Sumide, kind of the MVP maybe of this build. And and then since you're going to be getting 2 trigger checks with the Chisato, if you do trigger a climax, you can just pay it out and give even more power to your board with the Cuckoo's effect, and you get a blind stock, so you don't even lose stock. So the synergy between these 3 cards is really good. Can surprisingly give you high numbers, kind of reminiscence of Nijigasaki maybe, triggering stuff, giving power randomly. So yeah. Of course, just spam the Chisato combo. You gotta kill something, use the synergy between these 2 to do so. So, yeah. Of course, I mean, these just play this according to the matchup. And sometimes during all this, when you feel like you don't need Chisato anymore, you can just replace her with the 1/1 Kanan. And now all these Kanans become 2/5 backups, which once again is very easy to grab with the 0/0 Sumide. So, maybe sometime throughout the game, if you feel it's appropriate, just kind of try to get the Kanon down in the back row. It's not really, super important in this build though. And then level 2, of course, play as much Chisatos as you can. Level 3, if the timing is right and it's appropriate. I mean, they have hand encore. They're 10-5. They're probably going to be sticking around unless your opponent has some kind of anti-encore effect. With the Kanon in the back, it's 12k, backup, 4-5. So really strong. If they're playing their own early drops, you can consider playing the level 2 Chisato and plussing in the meantime, most of the time, because she's 13, 14, 14k, she'll probably run over something or force a backup, which either way is a win-win situation for you. So, super good card. Of course, defensive backup when you can. And if your opponent is playing like a super low power deck, you can consider playing the Kanon instead. And then now they have to kind of ram everything into Kanon, protect her too with this backup, and they can kind of just ruin their level 2 because they can't really handle this. They can't even side because it's bodyguard. So sometimes it can just really force them to just lose a lot of advantage and make them go into level 3 with a lot less hand than they want. And on to level 3, boom, boom, boom. Play as much Sumide as you can. Because the combo is so good. Costless. Both effects, super strong. The only, downside is you do have to reverse something for the double attack. So if that's the case, then of course you should save on to the Cuckoo and the 0-0 Chisato, perhaps. So that way you can give one of your characters that extra little power to run over something. These cards are pretty much the only way to give more power. So if they are running a deck with high power cards or your opponent is playing around it, try to use these two to help out Sumide. But once you get the combo, it's very flexible, so just do whatever you think is appropriate. But most of the time, you'll be choosing one of them and giving it burn 2 on cancel, burn 2 on cancel, and double attack on reverse. So that way, when you do kill it, you pay 1, ditch 2. It pays for itself, restand. And if they didn't cancel the first attack, they still have to burn 2 on cancel on the second attack. So it just turns one of your cards into a super, super scary character with so much game-ending potential. Of course, I guess the best choice most of the time is Chisato because she's 10-5 base, so that extra 500 might come in handy. Or, of course, you can use the 2-1 Chisato because she's 13k base when she fights a level 3. So you can stack it all on here. For example, if you really need help killing an opponent's character, you got ways. So just keep that in mind. Or just, if you can't, screw it. Burn 2 cancel, burn 2 and cancel, burn 2 and cancel. Yellow, right? Either way, it's good. And yeah, that's it for the deck. How I play it. It's pretty simple, but it's got a lot of good utility with what you can grab, how to game end, and the choices for the early drops. You can use Chisato, Kanon. There's just a lot of good options in this deck. And there's a lot of good ways to get more hand size. You got the choice trigger, the gate trigger. You got the 1-0 Chisato combo. You got the 0-0 Kanons on reverse effect. So just a lot of good ways to keep up hand size, keep up pressure, and game end. So yeah, super cool. On to some alternatives. So for the alternatives, like always, we're just kind of be sticking to the 4-choice 4-gate build. I'm not going to talk about 8-gate or adding blue to or adding like pan to the deck because that just kind of completely changed the build. So just a couple alternatives you can consider running for this specific build. So first of all, you got this little wombo combo. This was something I was trying at the beginning of SuperStar's conception because I thought it was a lot of fun. And it is good and it's fun, but maybe not the most consistent. But anyways, what these two cards do, it's kind of funny. They synergize with each other. So this card, it's a 1-1-3-5. During your turn, it's a 2k global assist. So that's kind of crazy. Her second effect is you can pay 1, put her to rest. If you have this level 0 Kanon on your field, you can pay cost, which is pay 1 rest. If you do, look at top 3, choose a character, and add it to your hand. So that card is already pretty good, a 2k global on your turn. And it's a guarantee plus every turn for pay 1. That's kind of nice. And this Kanon is also very interesting. So what she does is she resonates with she resonates with these 3 cards. So once per turn, you can pay 1, or not once per turn. You can resonate, so you can put her to rest and resonate with one of these 3 cards. If you chose the Hazuki, you give a character plus 2,500 power for the turn. If you reveal the Chisato, you give something plus 1 soul for the turn. And if you show the 1/1 Cuckoo herself, you can draw a card, discard a card. But when you do resonate, if you show the 0/0 Sumide, you can put her to restand. So if you have the Sumide and one of the other resonate targets, you can use a combination of those 2 twice per turn, which is really cool. Giving plus 2 soul every turn is quite scary. I mean, giving plus 5k power 2525 is really good as well. Of course, the draw ditch is also super clutch, especially when you're looking for a climax late game. Super good. So it's like a 2k global, guaranteed pay 1 plus, and a versatile assist. I mean, it's super cool, but in the end, it is kind of clunky. If your opponent does have some board disruption, and they keep owning this 1/1 Cuckoo, it can get a little stressful. And do keep in mind, I mean, these are great cards to have, but if you don't draw into any of them, or you can't really search it out, then it kind of sucks. And also, you can't really run a brainstorm with this, so sometimes your milling options are limited. But it is good, and I think give it a shot if you like it. You should try it. And also, one last thing, it makes reversing an opponent's character with the level 3 Sumide super easy, because this is a 2k global, and you give 2525 twice, so you give 5k total, and you're going to reverse anything with a level 3 Sumide. So the 0/0 Sumide, I mean, of course, great card. I'm sure we all know. I guess we don't, but it's a great card. 0/0 1500, she's probably the best 0 Superstar has to offer. She has 2 effects, pretty much. If all your characters are music, she gets plus 1500 power, so she's always 3k. Second effect, at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can choose one of the 2 effects, and she keeps it till the end of the turn. She can be a center runner, or when she gets sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay 1, discard a card if you do search your deck. Sorry, technical difficulties. But anyways, 3k, both effects are super good. What's not to love? The only issue with this card in this specific build is we're a little tight on space. I mean, you saw we run a whole bunch of level 0s. They're all kind of necessary. And, we also need we need to add some blue to the deck. So the deck space is a little tight. But if you want, definitely consider her. And if you do find the space, consider running the Sumide. And the last card I would consider, this 1/0 Chisato 4/5, also really good. 2 effects on attack. She gets plus 500 for each music character on the field, so she can get plus 2/5, so she'll be 7k on offense. Second effect, when you do reverse an opponent's character by battle with her, you could give another character the following effect of on attack, pay 1, get 2 trigger checks. So, I mean, honestly, just a super good, solid secondary attacker for any Superstar build. She's 7k on her own with a full field, which is great. And giving any character on attack, pay 1 for 2 trigger checks is really good. And like we said, the 2 trigger checks synergy with the 1/0 Cuckoo is also very nice. Just once again, a little tight on space, but if you want to, make space for it, definitely consider doing so. I mean, maybe if you want, you could take out the 1/1 Kanon for these. And if that's the case, you can take out the 0/0 Kanons for the 0/0 Sumide. So just something to consider. Anyways, guys, here's one last look at the build. Overall, I think this build is super good. It's just like a clean build. It has a little something for every situation, which is always nice. It has a lot of good utility, and has a really good, strong, solid game end. Pretty good at all stages of the game, which is very much appreciated. And yeah, overall, I think this build is just super solid. I think this might be like the most solid LoveLive Superstar build. And yeah, overall, I'm just having a lot of fun with this deck. And if you guys want to see this deck in action, of course, links will be in the description below, as always. And if there's any updates to this build, we will most likely be posting it up on our Twitter, because we don't really want to make another video just for like 1 or 2 different tech cards. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Please follow that. And I think that's all for this video, guys. And we'll catch you guys soon. Peace.